Well, to start the day off right, I took a lovely picture of myself because I thought I was recording. And then again, I take another lovely picture of myself in the greenhouse this time because I still thought I was recording. And then here's a picture of my lovely potato plants because, you guessed it, I thought I was recording. So the video starts here. Honestly, you didn't miss much in those other clips. It was just me ranting and rambling about what I wanted to do and what I was going to do and couldn't do, and it was too hot and blah blah blah. But anyway, here's Jamie who was recording. I went to the nursery the other day, got myself some nice healthy seedlings, unlike the ones that I killed. So I have hot lemons, which I was going to grow anyway, jalapenos I was going to grow anyway, butylocias, which I tried to germinate and the seeds just never germinated, and I believe that one's Tabasco, the same peppers they make original Tabasco sauce from. I've also got some bell peppers, I've got some snack sweet peppers, and I've got a couple of tomato plants back there as well. 4 of my seedlings have actually done alright, so I've got 2 jalapeno plants that I started growing myself, but you can clearly see the difference between the 2 of them because this one's just been so stunted. You can see that faded, dried out leaf. That's one of the original leaves that it started dying. So yeah, I'll maybe just keep these guys in pots. I've got my corn going. I maybe stupidly only put in the exact amount that I needed, and you can see that a few of them haven't quite germinated yet. I mean, those ones have, you can just about see them. But I probably should have planted more just in case. And these guys are my sunflowers, so the sunflowers are actually doing pretty well. Like, these are big chunky seedlings. I've never grown sunflowers before, but these are lovely. So as I said, the plan today was, this is nice dug soil. So Farah came with me on Wednesday night, I think, Tuesday night, and she put these in for me. I want to put the pepper plants over here and I want to put the tomatoes over here, but I haven't dug this corner yet, so this needs all dug over and mixed in with compost. And oh, there's a butterfly stuck in the greenhouse. Where was I? So yeah, I wanted to dig all of that, but it's really hard soil, it's really dry soil, it's really hot in here, and I don't think I can bear it right now. I just can't be bothered doing that, to tell you the honest truth. So I have a slightly different plan. So I moved the large panels of the greenhouse from there over to there. You can just see them, they're in the shed, to plant the asparagus. I'll talk about the asparagus in a minute. I planted potatoes on Wednesday, but look at the state of down here. So my plan for today is actually to move all of these small pieces of the chicken run. So these are the small panels and some of the roof grating that goes along with it. I've got some bags of compost there to move. Around here is actually where you see it, is where the timber beds are. So I've never actually managed to get in there to mow it. So they're just, I've just not got round to doing it, to be honest, and it's starting to get really quite bad. So the plan today, move all of this stuff to where it needs to be, take out the timber, lift up the timber bedding, and I don't know, just put that somewhere. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it. It just means I've got some timber to obviously work with. And then I'm going to mow all of this. I'm going to absolutely demolish everything here so that it looks nice and neat. My garlic is doing really well. It could probably do with another weeding, but the garlic itself is doing really nicely. Fingers crossed, nothing has been eaten yet. Everything I planted here has remained planted, which is lovely, and it's growing really quite nice. Yeah, they're maybe about a foot tall. They're getting their big, nice adult leaves. Yeah, good stuff. So I'm relatively happy with my asparagus. So you can see some of these are really quite tall now. I mean, that's probably over a foot. There's one that's about a foot there. There's one there. Of the 15 plants, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, maybe about half of them have sprouted so far. Like this one, for example, already had a little sprout on it, and the rest of these might have had little sprouts on them as well, but the rest of them haven't really been. Oh no, that one sprouted. That's nice. So yeah, I am happy with the way the asparagus is going, and it grows really fast. So believe it or not, this here, so it's maybe, if I say that's a foot tall at this point, it was maybe genuinely only half a foot or 2/3 on Wednesday night. So it's only been 4 days, and it's almost doubled in length. So I have heard before of people like not picking their asparagus because they think, oh, it's not quite ready, and they go back 3 days later and it's too big and you can't pick it, it's too tough. So yeah, it does grow really quite fast. Anyway, I do believe it's a bit of a tidy up and a lawnmower kind of day. So despite my mishap with the recordings this morning, I had every intention of just doing this as a time lapse with a voiceover. So you can see here I'm literally just mowing anything that I can. I've decided to mow my garlic and remove the garlic because I need that bed. I actually bought some bent rebar to stick in the ground like U-shapes and make borders around all the beds. So I'm hoping that'll make it look a lot nicer and a lot cleaner. But I want to put the rebar around where the actual beds are going to be, and the garlic was currently planted in a place where, like, at the time I planted it there was just some space, so I just threw it in there. I had to move the bushes and the trees out of the way because I had to mow the path next to the garlic, but obviously I couldn't just mow straight over the top of the garlic or anything because it would be a nightmare. Also, when I get near the fence, you can see me like I bounce the lawnmower up and down to get it like on top of the weeds that are near the fence. I feel like I'm playing Hungry Hungry Hippos when I do that. So you can see here, I find the edge of the first bed and I start trying to lift it up. I was debating here whether to lift it in one go, but ultimately I was just taking it apart, so I just threw it to the side and broke it into pieces. So the wood is actually really soaking, like it's waterlogged, because it's obviously been like buried an inch or so into the ground. So yeah, I was just moving everything out of the way that I could at that point. So I got the second bed and moved that out of the way. You can see I obviously picked up the hoops that I used to use for netting to keep the birds off of my lettuce and things like that. I'm just pulling out some of the grass here to get to the other part of the bed. And then yeah, have at it, here we go. So because of the way I use the lawnmower, truthfully I could probably do with one with like a really powerful motor on it, because I am just bouncing this thing on top of all of the weeds and grass, and it gets bogged down quite easily. Like you can't really tell in the time lapse because it's obviously going so fast, but I'm having to start and stop quite often and just pause and just hold the lawnmower in place so that the engine catches up again. So I could probably do with one with quite a bit of a more powerful motor, but at the end of the day it still does the job, it just takes a little bit longer. The other thing as well is that because most of what I'm mowing here is part of an existing bed that I've already had some fruits and vegetables in, the ground isn't very even. I mean, you can see the potatoes on the left hand side, like there's mounds of dirt all over the place. And so again, the blades keep getting bogged down on hitting dirt instead of just like skimming over the top and taking the grass and the weeds away. But it does the job. It's alright. I actually picked up another lawnmower this morning hoping to take the motor off of it and make myself wood chipper. I'm having a rest. Tell you what, that's 4 mosquitoes I've killed while they've been on my arm biting me. I've never had an issue with mosquitoes like during the day on a hot summer day. It's usually when it gets cooler at night or when it's really humid. And yeah, they like to come out and get you. So like in the summer last year, I barely came to the plot after work, because when the sun starts going down and it starts getting cold, the mosquitoes start coming out. But yeah, they're really getting me today. They're really bothering me. Oh, that was a bee. I think it's going quite well. I'm getting there. Right, time to get back to it. So yeah, I had a break. I had to sit down for a little while. I decided the lawnmower wasn't getting enough of the weeds near the fence, so I went and grabbed the machete and just started cutting down most of the weeds that were near the fence, and then decided to go back over them all with the lawnmower just to mulch them up and let them rot down and sit on the ground. Like, it is quite good actually, just to, if you are doing your lawn, just, you know, you cut up all your grass and then leave the grass just to decompose into the ground, into the soil. It's very good for the soil. Well, that is a fully grown beetroot. I'll take that home. That beetroot must have been from last year, because I only planted beetroot last year and harvested what I could harvest. So it's obviously grown over the past year. That back corner is always really quite bad for brambles and nettles. And so the machete does really well at just cutting the stalks into smaller bits for the lawnmower to be able to go over. Because it's just, like, some of them are really, really thick, and like the lawnmower just wouldn't do too well on them. So my plan for these two front beds, the one I'm standing in right now, is still to be a flower bed. I tried to make it some wildflowers last year, but the wildflowers didn't seem to take very well, and the weeds that were already on the plot took over. So I've got sunflowers in the greenhouse. I'm going to plant the sunflowers in those two front beds, and I'm going to go to the nursery and I'm going to pick up some nice flowers, like with Farah. I'll take her with me and we can decide on like a theme or something like that we're going for. And so we'll have my sunflowers dotted around the bed, and then I'll have some really nice colourful flowers in the middle. And yeah, that should make it nice. I just, as much as I really just use this place to grow vegetables, I do want it to look nice. And so I think if I can get the flower beds working down the front, then it should be really good. I was trying there to mow all the weeds that were near the fence, but the lawnmower just wasn't for having it. It was just too rough and wobbly, and the blade kept bogging down. Oh yeah, I took a swing there and I hit the fence, and I took a big chunk out of the metal fence, so I was trying to tap it down so that you didn't catch your finger on it again. I swear, this machete is the best and most dangerous thing that I've probably got at the allotment. So I decided as well to go over the front of my plot and cut the grass around the path in front of the plot. As I was lifting the lawnmower over, this little woman was walking by, and she was explaining to me that she's had her plot for about a year now, but she can't get the soil to like be worthwhile growing anything into. She says she's tried planting loads of stuff and it's just not taking, so she's basically just spending this year making the soil better. And so while she disappears down the path, this is the first time that lawnmower has actually been used just to cut grass. So it must have been nice for it to actually do what it's been designed to do. So I was having some issues with it bogging down because the grass was as long. But I actually go here and just grab a stick, and I cut the stick long enough so that it can balance between, there's a flap at the back of the lawnmower where you would normally put like a bag. And if you don't have the bag on it, that flap stays closed. So I put the log in to be able to hold the flap up, and the grass was just then spewing out the back of the lawnmower and going all over the place. But it stopped it from bogging down so much. But yeah, you can see I need to go forward and stop, or go back, or forward, back, stop. You know, it's all over the place, literally just because it keeps getting bogged down with all the grass. I also didn't get as close to the fence as I was hoping to, because the chicken wire which is currently on the fence has sort of fallen off and curled over. And so there's a good kind of foot gap where I can't actually get the lawnmower down because this mesh is in the way. I think this is where I decide I've basically had enough. I think I'm done. That took a lot more effort and time than I thought it would. Oh. So I've got most of it cut and done. It's just where the chicken run is sitting that I haven't done yet, but I can't be bothered doing any heavy lifting and more digging and stuff, and I think I'm running out of petrol as well, so I need to go get some more at some point. I am going to dig up the garlic though and see what it looks like. It smells like garlic, it smells amazing. So if I am correct about how garlic grows, I planted one clove last year. It should have turned into a bulb. I didn't harvest it, and then each clove from that bulb has turned into its own plant. That's why there's like, you know, 9 of them or something there. And again, there's 9 or so here, there's 9 or so here, there's a few here, and they are all in the positions where I planted the garlic last year. So let's see what they look like now. There's all the roots. So yeah, each clove is starting to try to turn into its own bulb. Now honestly, they're probably okay to eat. I'll take some of them home and I will actually try, you know, cut one up and put it in my lunch. It smells very garlicky. That's kind of what you expect. So they haven't split, so this thick bit would have been a clove, and this is like the little green bits that you get growing out your garlic sometimes if you don't use it. But the clove then has to split and turn into a bulb, which it hasn't had time to do. But I need this space, so just getting everything out of the way. There's a clove that hasn't even done anything. Oh my word. So actually this is a really nice one. So you see what I mean? That whole thing would have been a bulb, and each clove has grown into its own stalk. Very cool. Oh, that's not even garlic, that's a weed. It's a dandelion. The length of some of these roots. Well, that's it for today. This is all tidied and cut. Down here is all tidied and cut. Asparagus still needs the compost on it. My garlic's been cut and dug up. Potatoes are planted. My new garlic is doing well. The timber's gone from here, and so are most of the weeds. So next time I'm here, I need to, lifting up my machete there. Next time I'm down, I need to move the, I keep calling it the greenhouse. I need to move the chicken run and cut all this down and then dig the beds here. So everything up this side has been dug. You might not be able to see it, but it's ready for things to plant. And up until this point, it's been dug. So all of this down here, I need to get sorted. As much as I didn't do everything I wanted to do today, I'd say it's still been a pretty productive day. Definitely. The place looks really tidy. Really nice and tidy. And after cutting that garlic, it smells like garlic. So, I'll see you next time.